My top clients in freelance video production. Hi, my name's David. Welcome to the Cranky Cameraman. Started this channel as an opportunity to give back to the video and media production community. It's an industry I've been involved in for over 20 years, and these are the conversations we have on set and during our commutes to and from. Yesterday I put together a 4-camera shoot for a corporate communications project. Local project for me here in Irvine, California. I was contracted by a marketing agency based in New Jersey, in the New York metro area, and a rep from that agency flew out to act as the producer. So the hot topic yesterday during our breaks and while setting up is the same conversation we've been having for the past few months, which here in California is this Assembly Bill 5, that it appears as though the state wants everybody to become an employee of somebody else's company. Now, I'm not even sure, and we were chatting with the clients on this job, like, I'm a corporation. I've been in business for almost 20 years as an S-Corp, and I have a lot of clients. Next year, do I really need to become an employee for this one-day shoot? And this is like a one and done for me, a one-off out-of-town project. So I've been using QuickBooks as long as I've been in business. I switched over to QuickBooks Online a few years ago and imported some of the old desktop data. The first few years, I don't have it connected anymore, but I've got from 2006 up till present. And the fantastic thing with that is I can run a lot of custom reports and dig through all this data that I've input in for accounting and business purposes over the years. So spooled by this AB5 thing and our discussion yesterday, thought it'd be interesting to pull up a 5-year report on my top customers and what percentage of overall revenue each of those customers represented. My first several years in business, I had one key client under contract that represented 50 to 65% of my overall billing for the year. And even though it was a contract, I was always terrified that client would go away at any moment, and they saturated so much of my time that I didn't have the ability to go out and chase other business other than small stuff. And the dream for me was always like, man, I get this client that's like 50+% of my business. If I could find a number 2 client that's also like 50% of my annual billing, man, life would be great. And then if I could start thinning that down and have 3 clients that each represent about 1/3 or 25% of my overall business, I would be rest easy and sleep well at night. And what I've discovered over the years is most marketing agencies, video production companies, PR firms, that's kind of the ratio. They have like 1 to 3 marquee clients that represent the bulk of their billing, and then they got a little one-off and little fill-in client base of stuff to fill in the cracks. And that was my business right up until 2008, 2009. So coming out of the recession, it took me a few years. It was a multi-year transition to get back to just my fundamentals. I just want to be a director of photography. And I've applied generic names to these customers. So 2015, sales by customer. This is listed in order of number 1 to smallest. So number 1, 2015, represented 17% of my annual billing. See, number 2 is 11%, number 3, 11%, 4, 10%, and then 8%, 6, 5, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1. And then we go down 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and less than 1%, all the way up 50+ different customers billed. So here's a trend I find interesting. Your number 1 client last year probably isn't going to be your number 1 client next year. So jumping ahead to 2016, my number 1 at 17% fell to number 2 position, but 17 down to 10%. And the previous number 6 position, athletics at 6%, shot up to number 1 position. But the thing I felt good about in 2016, that was a banner year for me, is that my number 1 client was only 11% of revenue. And you can see the taper off's about the same. We got to get all the way down to the 15th customer before we're into the 1% range. And same thing, that goes beyond 50 customers, hovering around 1 to 0% revenue. In 2016, so at the end of 2016, I picked up a new customer. I don't think we started until late November, and had a little surge of production for them ending the year and rolling into the following year. And let me find them here on the list. So they came in at 1% of my revenue for that year, 17th position. And they shot up to number 1 in 2017 and bumped down the previous number 2. Boy, they fell all the way to, gosh, I don't even see them on here. Maybe I didn't work for them at all that next year. 1.35%, and they were number 15. I've had an unusual, positive, and successful run with the new number 1 client from 2017. Made me a little nervous where they came in at 20% of my overall billings. But rolling into 2018, they still number 1 position, but down to 15%. And the number 2 position, restaurants, in the previous year, they were number 12 at 1.41%. So we had multiple large projects in 2018, which brought them up to the number 2 position. Moving into the current year, we're in mid-November of 2019, and for the 3rd year running, my IT client is my number 1 at 17%. Number 2 was a new client in the previous year. They were number 10 at 3%. So in 19, they've jumped up to 12%. And number 2. 2019, I've scaled back a little bit, just trying to have a little more free time and spend time with the family and rest and recover between productions. So my revenue's down a bit by design, and we're still doing just fine. I'm in better shape now, exercising consistently, sleeping much better, and it's been well worth the scale back on the business side. So looking at the history of these various customers over 5 years, what are the factors that affect a position change? Why does someone slide from number 1 down to 7? The primary reason, by a large margin, is availability. The law of the universe, Murphy's Law, as soon as you get engaged on a project and you get booked up on a Wednesday, it guarantees another customer is going to call with a need on that Wednesday. And the right thing to do is you stick to the first project that booked and you get that delivered before accepting the next one. The next one is the big stress point we all worry about, and that's a client-side staff change. Someone gets promoted, there's a new hire, your key customer contact moves on to another firm. In those cases, what usually happens is the new person wants to bring in new vendors. Now the next factor, and this is more on the creative agency customer types, is the pressure from their end clients to present new creative. And being a subcontractor, you're typically the first to get replaced because the primary agency, they want to maintain the relationship, keep that retainer alive. So best, I would operate the same way I have in years past, is you start shopping for new subcontractors that have new ideas and are just different. You're looking for different. And then, being a director of photography, the frustrating thing is I know I shot the chocolate ice cream for you the last 3 times, and now it's strawberry ice cream. And I don't have any strawberry ice cream examples that are recent, but from a photography perspective, it's I know it's a different product. I can still deliver. But the reality is usually it's, someone new. Oh, we got the strawberry ice cream cinematographer for this go. I guess the positive side on that is that's also how I pick up a new client and get a good run for a year or two, is I'm the strawberry new guy. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you have a project with strawberry ice cream, I'd love the opportunity. You can check out some of my work on my website. It's wintersmediagroup.com. This is the Cranky Cameraman. Let me know your thoughts below. What are the percentages for you, or what's the big stress point? At what point do you get fearful when you have a big client and they've gotten a little too big? How much of a reduction did I experience in 2019 by intentionally taking more time off to exercise, rest, and have a better life balance? I have a general idea, but we'll dive into the numbers on the next one. Thanks for watching.